Hey, before we start talking about the syllabi, I think that's the right term. I want to thank Mr. Morgan for giving me these cool little icon things I run before my videos start. Kind of help me get set up before I start. The Cottage Hill one that he did, and then also the one he personalized for me. I'm gonna work with those as the year goes and start trying to develop some new stuff to do to make these videos a little more professional looking. So y'all bear with me. We're gonna play a lot this year with this as I learn the technology. So real quick, some of you may be looking at this right now and going, hey, I'm not a junior, I'm not in college prep. Let me just real quickly tell you, all of my classes have the same syllabus set up except where it says the books you're going to be studying. So I'm going to use this and make just one video for all of you instead of making 6 different syllabus videos because, man, if you've had me before, you know I hate talking about a syllabus. This is boring to me. I would like to take day one, we'll jump in and let's learn something and let's talk and let's get down to it. I'm itching to talk about The Great Gatsby and The Plague with you guys. I'm sure you guys are just as excited about that as I am, right? But I definitely am. So, excuse me. I've been shooting videos all day and my voice is about gone because I'm not used to talking all day. So anyway, don't be confused by that. Let's just talk about every category except that and kind of talk about, your syllabus, especially for those of you who may not have been in class for the syllabus day, all right? Or those of you who need a review and want to go back and look at it, all right? So I'm not going to bother reading the syllabus to you because you can read. I'm just going to hit some of the high points, okay? So obviously I don't need to talk about the welcome. The welcome kind of goes over what your particular class is focusing on. Again, there should be 4 different ones. Honors and CP, y'all are going to be a lot more similar than usual, although your books are going to be different and your assessments are going to be different. But, there's going to be a lot of similarity mainly because of the overlap for this year as we're dealing with a lot of extra stuff. So I apologize for that. The next thing about the bringing to class. Okay, so really, my class is real simple, all right? I would like you to have your textbooks here. If you want to keep them in the lockers, that's fine. We do have a weird, going to your locker system this year, but if you need to go get them during class, I don't mind letting you go. You're right outside my door. Now, I've got a spot over here by my windows where you can keep your books. Just make sure you mark it and you know it's yours, so that way if someone takes it, we can, I can't be responsible for your books. You can leave your textbooks here. We are going to use them. Those of you who thought, well, we didn't use it, blah, blah, blah year, please, you need to have a textbook or you need to at least be able to access the stuff I'm going to ask you to. Maybe your friend's got a book and you want to, take pictures of the work. That's your business. That's you breaking copyright, not me. So that's your call, but you do need a textbook. Second of all, you're going to need a way to save some of the papers I give you. I'm going to do most everything electronically, but there are going to be some handouts that you need to annotate and you need to highlight and things like that. So you need a way to keep up with that. Now, if you're smart, what you'll do is once you're done annotating it, take pictures and put it in your OneNote so you don't lose it. But, your call, as long as you keep up with stuff, all right? Pen, pencil, you can write with anything you want, but you bring something to write with, okay? But I don't care what you use. You want to use sparkly, glittery pink pen, that's fine. That's your business. I don't mind that even a little, all right? Highlighters, and I say highlighters, I don't need 12 of these, okay? I need you to get stuff like this, okay? You notice I got 4 different, and there's a blue that exists. I just have no idea where it went. But I've got these 4 highlighters here, because as I read and annotate, I'm going to use them for different things. Now, I'm going to let you decide what you want for which one, all right? Like, for example, I hate green highlighter, so I use it for, the smallest possible chances I'm going to use it. Green's my favorite color, but the highlighter's terrible. So you need those, okay? Now, we may not use them every day. Don't panic, all right? I'm not asking you to get stuff you're not going to use, okay? But we will use them at times. Paper, just in case we're doing a real quick, in-class thing. I'm trying to get away from using paper as much as possible, but, there's that. And then finally, a device for use, because we are going to use OneNote. We're going to use Nearpod. We're going to use a lot of things that are electronic. Now, I prefer you to have a laptop. I really do. The laptops work better just because there's so much that OneNote messes up on phones. Almost all of you are aware of this. I get that some of you, your families don't have a laptop you can use, and going and spending money on a laptop is just not an issue. Now, the school does have access to a lot of them thanks to, one of the silver linings of coronavirus, and I shouldn't treat it flippantly, and I'm not, but is that we were able to get funding to get more computers for you guys. So if you need one, the school can probably help you get one. If I need to save the laptop cart for a day, we're working with them, just let me know. But you can use your phone in a pinch, all right? Just know there'll be some issues, okay? Class rules, real quick, just hit these 4. I'm going to talk about them in a different video later, but there's 4 of them. They all revolve around respect. This has been kind of my rules for a while. You got to respect me as the teacher, and again, the key thing there is respect me in class by doing what I ask and not being disruptive. Respect me out of class by, if you have an issue, come speak to me about it. All right. We are a country of gossips. We're a world of gossips. And all we want to do is talk bad about people, yet face to face, we don't seem to have the ability. If something is said or done in class that upsets you, I need a chance to defend myself and explain to you, because there's no way I'm going to hurt anyone's feelings on purpose. So I need to have that opportunity. So please respect me enough to do that. Respecting your classmates, don't be a distraction. Don't be insulting just because a kid misses a question or a kid has a different opinion than you. Respecting my classroom. The material in here, I spend a lot of time in this room, and I work really hard and spend a ton of my own money to get this place to look the way it does. I clean a lot of it myself. I don't need you messing it up. You leaving drinks in here or leaving a mess. You decide you're going to eat something and throw wrappers on the ground. That's all stuff that bothers me. Please don't. The stuff that I brought from my home, like my posters, my books, my guitars, please, if you want to look at some of that stuff, you are welcome to, but ask me first, all right? And please be respectful of my stuff, okay? Finally, respect yourself. Take this class serious. Take your work serious. Do the best you can on something. Don't just turn in halfway done stuff. Don't cheat. Don't sell your education short, that sort of thing, okay? The top in the third column there, it talks about a binder and a folder. Really, in all honesty, again, you can do all this electronically, but you need a place to save 4 main things. 1, final drafts of writing. You need to be able to access them. So if we start talking about, like, maybe there's a day where I need to talk about commas because you guys are using them so poorly, I may say, okay, get your last paper out. Now, you need to be able to access it. So it can't be, well, it's saved on my computer at home. You can't do that, all right? You need to have it saved in your OneNote, or you need to have it an actual physical printout you made so that we can look at them. We won't do it very often, but when I want you to, I need you to have it. We don't do vocab in my class per se, but we do have 2 lists we're going to keep. One of them is going to be technical terms that deal with like whatever your course is, and then we're going to have a second one where I'm going to use words that I think you should use in writing and speaking. Better vocabulary doesn't mean learning a bunch of weird, obscure words that you will never use. It's talking about using words that are better for certain situations and make you sound smarter. All right, things like the word palatable. All right, palatable is a word that you can use a lot. You say your girlfriend or boyfriend wants to go eat somewhere, and their first choice, I don't like that, and they pick the second one you don't really like but you can handle it. That's a more palatable choice. That sort of thing. It's better than, I guess that's better. I mean, we use words like better, good, things like that way too much. So we're going to work on those words, and I'm going to find ways to give you bonus credit, which I rarely do, for using words that I give you on that list frequently. All right. Finally, reading notes and journal entries, the last 2. Again, you can do all that electronically, though, all right? The getting help, those again, most of you had me before. There's 4 ways you can get help from me. 1, before school. I open the school up. It's between 6 and 6:30. So I'm usually here unless something's wrong by 6:30. You can meet me from 6:30 to 8. Just let me know ahead of time. You need to schedule time so I know to be in my room, because a lot of the time I'm not down here. Okay, a lot of the time I'm up in the office doing something. I'm helping another teacher. I'm just wandering around. Please, schedule that time. At school, break and lunch are both times that you can easily get up with me. But again, you need to schedule that time. If no one says they're meeting with me, I may not be here. And finally, after school. Now, a lot of you have athletics and things, so meeting after school is difficult. Schedule a time with me. If you can't meet with me until 5:30 or 6, I live close by and I can come up here and meet with you. Or we can obviously set up a time where we can do a Zoom meeting, which isn't on my list, but we can do that easily, or also an email, all right? Just please let me know. Now, I'd rather not schedule late unless there's people on the campus. I don't want me and a student to be up here at 6 o'clock, just the 2 of us. That's not safe, okay? So, or it's just not good. It's safe. I'm not going to do anything, but it looks bad, so we don't want to do that, all right? Okay, let me switch over real quick to the other screen, and let's push this up a little bit, or push it down, up. Let's see, there it goes. All right, let's talk about the stuff down here, all right? Okay, sorry, I'm having to switch back and forth. There should be a way where I don't have to do that, but I'll figure it out later. All right, books we will read. Again, this is the list for 11th grade college prep, all right? Every class, every course level has a different set of books we're going to use, all right? So just let's not worry with that right now. Using tech, there's three main things that you've got to be able to navigate for my class. One is OneNote, which you should be getting in every class, all right? And we're trying to all stick to a similar way of doing it, so that one shouldn't be hard. We're going to use Nearpod, but mainly for bell ringers because I want to be able to put all the answers up on the board. I'm going to black your names out, so don't panic about that, but I'm going to use those. And finally, Zoom, and that's mainly for those of you who are remoting in that can't be here, whether it's because of a coronavirus situation or just you're staying home because you're sick or something. So you can use it then. We are getting an upgraded version of Zoom, so it should be a safer and more stable platform, all right? Notice I said to follow school policies for technology use and to keep track of your own usernames and passwords. Please stop telling me I can't log into my account. You have got to figure that out and take care of it, okay? That was something I got so tired of hearing last year, all right? We are in an area where you have to use more and more technical stuff, so you've got to get that right, okay? All right, next up, FAQ up here. I've got 6 total questions. There's 3 on this page, 3 on the next. The first one here is, do I have to watch your stupid videos? Which, during the summer, that was a problem. Very few of you watched my videos during the summer that I posted. And I know they were kind of long, but you got to remember, a 30-minute video, you're in class with me for 50 minutes, 55. And I was giving you 30-minute videos, which was a much less time, and I couldn't get people to dedicate the time to watching them. Those of you who did learn real quick that almost everything I had question-wise was found in that section. So please take the time to read it. Second thing says, is it really important to do the reading if we are just going to discuss it in class? This is a real big problem with my lazier students. They're like, why am I going home and reading it? If I didn't get it and you're just going to discuss it in class, I might as well just listen in class. Well, there's 2 big problems with that. One, just me talking about it doesn't mean you understood it. If I start telling you about a movie I watched and I go into great detail, you're still going to be confused because you didn't see it. Now, if you saw it and you were confused and I explained it, it makes more sense. Second thing is we're not going to discuss everything in class. Guys, anything that's on the reading, you're responsible for a test. I may ask you a question about something we never talked about in class and you never had a chance to discuss. And if you didn't read it, you're going to be confused enough. You're going to be really confused. Because a lot of you who even read it and didn't discuss it in class will be confused. So we want to make sure that not only are you reading it, but you're coming prepared to discuss things that you're confused by, all right? Because that's what the class is going to be built around, all right? So we had this reading last night. What do you think about this? And that's a chance for you to raise your hand and say, I'm confused why the author chose to do this blank way. That's what we need to see, all right? The third thing says, what if I disagree with or have a question about one of my grades? Now, that's going to happen from time to time. I'm going to give you a grade on a paper or on a test that you're like, I studied really hard. How did I make such a bad grade? So that's a conversation for you and I to have during one of our after school or before school times where we can sit down and look at your test and go over each thing and how you can improve, all right? That is not I'm going to go home and complain about it and have my parents call and yell at Mr. Morris, all right? They didn't take the test. Even if they saw you studying for hours, that doesn't mean you got it right, okay? And I need to be able to explain why. And guys, hey, a lot of the times I may change the grade. I may say, okay, I see what you're saying and you understand it. I may give you some extra points, all right? I don't have to, but I might. So come speak to me about it, okay? All right, let's look at the second page. Okay, second page. Second page deals with the absence policy. You can look at that, okay? But basically, absence policy is a little more lax this year because of quarantining and coronavirus. Just understand that I'm putting lectures and notes and everything you need online. If you need to look at those, they're there, all right? If you're sick personally, don't worry about my work. We'll get you caught up later, especially if you end up with coronavirus. I want you to get better, and I want you to concentrate on getting well. But that applies to any sickness, all right? You are not under any pressure to do my work until you feel better, okay? I would like you to get caught up, though. This isn't a let's wait a month to do Mr. Morris's makeup work, because the longer you wait, the worse the grades are going to be, okay? You can look at the specifics there. We're already going too long in this video, okay? Classroom structure, again, you can look at that, but that is mainly just for people who haven't had me. So this year I'm doing this, 2020, 2021, almost all of you have had me. Next year I'll have a group that's never had me. And the thing is to know my classroom is very informal. It doesn't mean that it's like I don't care. It's informal because I am. We have a lot of informal discussion because that's how I learn best. I structured my class the way I learned. Now, I try to help those of you who don't learn like me. Some of you are much more rigid people who need very defined structure, and my class doesn't always provide that, and I apologize. But I want you to understand that discussion's a big point of this, and just because it looks like we're not doing something doesn't mean that we're doing nothing. I hate when kids say, what'd you do in Mr. Morris's class? We didn't do anything. Yes, we did. We had a discussion for the whole time. You may not have done anything, but we did. All right, so please understand that this is a weird class, but it says, and I will read this to you, take advantage of this type of environment and learn to participate more in active learning instead of the traditional form of learning, which is proving to be less and less effective in our society. Sitting at your desks, doing a worksheet, turning it in, having a teacher put a grade on it, giving it back to you is not as effective as people think it is. The way we learn in here is much more effective, and it is much more enjoyable if you take it serious and you pay attention, okay? Revision policy, that's over here on the right, the third column. The revision policy is just basically any kind of important formal writing that we do. You have 5 school days after you get your grade back to turn in an updated version, okay? And I may give you some bonus points. I will not give you more than half. In other words, if you turn in a paper and you give me and you made a 60 and you decide to, go back and redo that paper and make it amazing, the maximum score you will get is an 80, because 60 is 40 points away from 100 and you can only get half of that. Because again, you can't just use this as an excuse to buy yourself an extra week of time, all right? Most kids don't take advantage of this, but it's there if you need it, because and we'll see this in a minute, I'm not big on extra credit. That's the way I give you extra credit, okay? Your paper's not good, you want to revise it. Now, it doesn't guarantee you to get those points, all right? You may only get 2 or 3 points. It just depends on what you change and how much better it is, okay? All right, let's look at the last part of this. Got discussion policy. Now, my discussion policy is very simple. My class is built around how much people want to discuss. The best classes are the ones where you guys talk not just to me but to each other, and you're not just answering with very simplified one-sentence statements where you're asking questions, and one of the students asks a question and another student raises their hand and says, Mr. Morris, can I answer that? I mean, that's the way classes should be. It shouldn't be Mr. Morris asks a question and the whole entire class says, one brief sentence, okay? That's not effective, okay? I know some of you are shy and you're not going to want to raise your hands and talk in a class of 22, so that's fine. You're going to have opportunities in small groups to participate. You're also going to have opportunities through technology for your answer to be put up here on the board with or without your name. It depends on the situation, and I want you to take advantage of that, okay? Stop sitting on it when you know the answer to something. Answer it, okay? If anyone says anything mean or disrespectful to you, trust me, I'm going to eat them for it, all right? You don't have to worry about that. So please take advantage of that, all right? Along with that, respect all opinions in my class. All right, we don't have to agree with each other, but we do have to be respectful. You need to understand that everyone in the world does not see things the way you do, and that doesn't mean they're wrong. They are opinions, and we need to be able to, establish an opinion and discuss it without resorting to name calling or anger. All right, and we're going to work on that because adults are bad at that, so we want to work on it. Okay, document formatting, no reason to read it to you. That is basically just the MLA setup, what I expect on your papers. You are to follow this or you will lose points, not because it matters in the grand scheme of things, whether your paper's good or bad if you have the right heading, but because you have got to follow basic instructions. This is just a thing in life we have to do, all right? Finally, our last little bit of questions. There's 3 more. The 4th one asks you, can I work on assignments with a friend? Look, I'm all about collaboration. If my class was done exactly how I wanted it, we'd always collaborate on every assignment, including tests. The problem is that y'all's idea of collaboration is divide and conquer. Everyone pick one of the questions and we'll all get together and turn in one big thing and we save ourselves time. You are not learning. You are learning 25% of the work when you do that. What you're supposed to do is, if there's 4 questions, all 4 of you answer all 4, then you sit down and you talk about the answers and you come up with one strong answer based on all 4 answers, and yours is now better, and you learn more that way. But when you divide and conquer to save time, you're not learning, okay? So yes, you can work with a friend, but you guys need to work together to come up with a combination of your answers, not just, give me each of you splitting the work. That's not acceptable. Now, I can't always tell if you're doing that or not, but I'm better at picking it out than you think. Question 5, if I'm accused of cheating on an assignment, can I redo it? No, you can't. I hate cheating. I hate laziness. And I will make no adjustments for that. You cheat on something, it's a 0, dig yourself out of the hole. Do not cheat in this class. Don't do it, all right? That is one of the biggest problems with technology, is it provides all sorts of avenues for you to be cheating on stuff. I will not tolerate it in this class. The end. All right. Finally, the last question, which my little box right here with my picture in it is blocking this right now, but if you can look at it. It says, do you provide opportunities for extra credit? And again, the short answer here is I don't. I give you the revisions. I may throw in a few extra points for your vocab usage, but for the most part, you earned the grades you got. I don't think it's fair for somebody to be lazy for 2 months of a quarter and then the last 2 weeks try to like all of a sudden slam in a bunch of papers and do good. If that was the case, everyone could just be lazy and just do extra credit. And that's not learning. That is, just getting by. And I'm just not about that. All right. So anyway, hopefully this, will help a little bit and shine a light. I think you guys don't need a video to help explain a syllabus. You guys can follow this. I do apologize as I'm looking at this, as I'm filming it, I can see there's lag happening again. This is one of the mistakes with this type of software I'm using, where occasionally my voice and my mouth and hand motions are not syncing up. We'll work on that throughout the year too. But if it bothers you too much, ignore the picture and just listen. All right. Okay, guys. Well, hopefully this was helpful. And if not, I apologize. It's the syllabus. What can you do? Okay. Anyway, you guys have a great afternoon, evening, rest of your day. And next time we're together, hopefully we'll have a little bit more interesting stuff to talk about than rules and regulations for, let's see, 20 minutes. I apologize. All right. You guys have a great, great evening, and we will see you again next time.